So Apple has just wrapped up their October keynote where they announced a bunch of awesome stuff. Now the keynote lasted around an hour and a half, and maybe you don't want to watch the whole thing. So let me make life easier, and here is a full recap of Apple's October keynote. What's up guys, I'm Benji from Benobby Tech, and welcome back to another video. So Apple started off their event talking about the Mac, and they released the brand new MacBook Air, and honestly this MacBook Air is insanely good. The MacBook Air finally gets a Retina display on a 13.3 inch panel, which is awesome. It also comes with Touch ID, which is very good, so you can now use things like Apple Pay. You can unlock your Mac using Touch ID, and all the things that you could do with Touch ID on the MacBook Pro line, you can do on the MacBook Air line. It also has a bigger Force Touch trackpad, very similar to the MacBook Pro lineup, and it also has better speakers, so that's always a welcome change. It has dual up-firing speakers, which is really good, and apparently they're a lot louder than the previous MacBook Air's speakers, which is a welcome change. The MacBook Air also has two Thunderbolt 3 USB Type-C ports, so you can now connect this to USB Type-C 5K monitors and all that kind of stuff, which is amazing. And it also retains the headphone jack, which is kind of surprising. I thought Apple would have removed it from the Mac line, but I think they're gonna keep it for a little while longer. The new MacBook Air also packs 8th gen Intel Core CPUs, which is cool, and you can configure the MacBook Air up to 16 gigabytes of RAM with 1 terabyte of storage. This new MacBook Air also has better battery life than the last one, and you also have a 17% smaller form factor, so it's a lot smaller and a lot more portable, which is awesome. It comes with 3 different colors. It comes in silver, space gray, and gold, so you have 3 color options to choose from that will match your iPhone XS and XS Max. And the new MacBook Air starts at $1,200. I was actually surprised about this because this was meant to be the budget MacBook, but it's not really budget. And you can actually order them right now, and they'll be available next week on November 7th to pick up in stores and all that kind of stuff, which is really good. I can't wait to see this new MacBook Air in person. I think a lot of people will actually get this MacBook Air because it's a MacBook and it's awesome. So then Apple moved on and talked about the Mac Mini. Now the Mac Mini is something that we haven't actually had updated in quite some time, a few years. And I know a couple of people who are really big fans of the Mac Mini and still to this day own the last Mac Mini that came out. Apple has finally refreshed it, and they have come out with a brand new Mac Mini that unfortunately only comes in space gray. And this also has 4 to 8 core 8th gen Intel Core CPUs, which means this is gonna be a beast, and apparently it's 5 times faster than the last Mac Mini. You can also configure this new Mac Mini up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, which means this thing's gonna be a beast, and you can also configure it up to 2 terabyte SSD of storage. You also get quite a few ports with this. You get 4 Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports. You also get Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet actually, and you also get 2 USB-A ports. You get a headphone jack and a couple of other ports like an HDMI port. A lot of ports, which is really good. Like when you buy a computer, you want it to have a lot of ports. You don't want it to have just 2 USB-C ports where you need dongles for days. And the new Mac Mini starts at $800, which is really good. I'm actually really considering to sell my Hackintosh because I've had a couple of issues with it, and actually pick up a Mac Mini because this new Mac Mini is really good, and for the price, I think this is going to be a very appealing choice to a lot of people, especially people who are in the prosumer market. And you can actually order this new Mac Mini today, and it will be available next week, which I honestly cannot wait for. Apple also went on and talked about their Today at Apple thing, and they're doing more of them, so in case you're a fan of that, guess that's good. And then Apple moved on and started talking about the iPad, and this is the biggest refresh I think in the history of iPads. It comes in 2 different sizes, an 11-inch model, and there's also a 12.9-inch model. For some reason they keep making the smaller model bigger. I don't get why. Anyway, these new iPads have a liquid Retina edge-to-edge display, so it's the same display technology as the iPhone XR, and from what I have heard, the iPhone XR's Liquid Retina display is among one of the best LCDs on the market. So if they include this into the iPad, then it's probably going to be better than the Pixel Slate. It also comes with Face ID, so no more Touch ID on the iPads, unfortunately. And Face ID actually works in any orientation. It also works upside down, which is awesome. Like, I didn't expect it to work upside down, but it does. And it also works horizontally in both directions. It also packs the brand new 8-core A12X Bionic chip. This thing's an absolute monster. No tablet or even laptop can compare to this. It also has a 7-core GPU, which means you'll be able to play very high intensity games like Fortnite, which you can't play on the Pixel Slate. And you can also configure this up to 1 terabyte of storage. It also has ditched lightning for USB Type-C, and now you can actually connect the iPad to a 5K monitor. And that's not all. You can also charge your iPhone or AirPods or any other device using this new iPad. These new iPads also have Bluetooth 5.0, and the cameras is something that Apple hasn't really addressed, but the front-facing camera is a 7-megapixel camera that can shoot 1080 at 60 frames a second video, so it's the exact same sensor that's in the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max. It also has Smart HDR, and you can also use Memoji and Animoji with this new camera because it has the true depth sensors in it. And the rear-facing camera is a 12-megapixel sensor with Smart HDR, and it can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames a second. The Pixel 3 can't even do that, and that's a phone that just came out and costs the same as this iPad. And Apple also mentioned that you'll be able to run full-fledged Photoshop on this iPad in 2019. And this new iPad comes in 2 different colors. It comes in space gray and silver. Unfortunately, no gold, which kind of sucks. And it starts at $800. And of course, it goes up to $1,700 for the 12.9 inch in 1 terabyte. But not many people are even going to buy that. I mean, you can always get the 512 gigabyte 12.9 inch model for only $1,300, so it's not a deal breaker. If you compare this to the Pixel Slate or the Galaxy Tab S4, which are its 2 main competitors, they don't even stand a chance. Like, this iPad just destroys them. The iPad is the only tablet on the market now, and Apple also said themselves that they own the majority of the tablet market. Apple also announced the Apple Pencil 2, which is really cool because you can actually connect the Apple Pencil 2 to the iPad Pro magnetically, and it will charge magnetically as well, because the original Apple Pencil was just weird to charge, and now that you could just attach it to the side of the iPad magnetically and it will always be charging, that's a lot better than plugging it into the lightning port. It also has gestures, so you can double tap on the surface of the pencil to, for example, switch to the eraser and then switch back to the pen. Now, the Apple Pencil has actually increased in price, and now it costs $130 instead of $99. So that's kind of unfortunate, and it doesn't work with the older iPads either. So those are 2 deal breakers, but I guess if you're buying this new Apple Pencil, you'll also be buying the new iPad with it as well. They also announced a brand new smart keyboard, so it's a little better, and you actually have 2 viewing angles now, and they said it's better for group FaceTime and all that stuff. And the smart connector on the iPad has actually moved to the back of the iPad, and there's magnets in the back of it as well, so the case just like snaps to the back of it, and it will also be a lot more secure than the older smart keyboard was. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the recap. They didn't really mention anything else. They didn't mention AirPower, so AirPower is pretty much dead. They didn't even mention the iPod Touch 7, which a lot of people were hoping for, not even the iPhone SE 2, which kind of sucks for some people, but I mean, the iPod Touch is useless in 2018. Oh, and by the way, it's not been discontinued yet. They still sell it at the Apple Store. Don't really know why. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, let me know by smashing that like button down below. If you hated it, and you hate me now, that other button seems to work as well. You can also let me know in the comment section below what you guys are going to be picking up after the event. Are you going to be getting the Mac Mini? Are you going to get the new iPad? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you're new around here and you haven't already, be sure to smash that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. You can get to my videos early and you won't miss an upload. And also, guys, don't forget to copy yourself some merch, support me on Patreon, PayPal, all that stuff in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Benji from Adobe Tech, and I will catch you guys in the very next video.